Hi, everyone. Welcome to Prevention Education, the podcast that teaches you everything about prevention. Thanks for listening, and let's get started.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another Prevention Education podcast. I'm Kylie, and I'm a prevention project specialist for Preferred Family Healthcare in the prevention department. And today I have Aubree with me. So, Aubree, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello. My name is Aubree Crockett. I am a Missouri prevention specialist with Preferred Family Healthcare Prevention Department.
Yes, we love having Aubree on our team. She is a huge asset to us. And so today we're going to get into a little get to know you question. And our question is, would you rather be able to speak to animals or talk fluently in all human languages?
That's honestly a really, really hard question to answer.
Yeah.
I think that out of the two, I would pick talk to animals because I can learn human languages, but you can't learn how to talk to animals. So I
Um,
feel like that would be I don't know. I feel like I could learn pretty easily to talk to other humans, but talking to animals is a lot harder. So, yeah.
yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. I just
Yeah.
initially, I think I would want to know all human languages just so it
Mhm.
would motivate me to go and travel more.
Yeah, that would be nice. It'd be so much easier to communicate when you're out in different countries, but
Yeah. And it
yeah.
also made me think, I don't know. So for our listeners, we're recording this in December. So if you're listening to this later, it's not going to fit in the season. But there's a show out and it's called Santa Claus. And the daughter, excuse me, the daughter can hear animals. And so like
Ooh,
nonstop, she'll
yeah.
like hear flies talking and mice
Mhm.
if they're around. And just like it's
Yeah.
not you don't get a break because there's always something around.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want to listen to them all the time, like if I could hear them all the time, but it'd be nice to be able to talk to them and see what's going on in their heads. So
True. And you can always tell them to go away. So I guess that
that's true. That is
would
true.
work.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Now that our listeners just know a little bit about us, we will get into the topic of today. And our topic is who are our coalitions? And so just to start off, how would you describe a coalition to our listeners?
I in very, very simple terms, I would describe a coalition as a group of people in a community who are passionate about helping the community, making the community better, improving the community. Specifically in our case, we work with a lot of coalitions who do youth substance prevention. So that's kind of what most of the coalitions I work with are centered around. Some of them focus more on other things such as suicide, mental health. But I would just describe it as a group of caring people who want to make a difference in their community and help reduce substance use.
Yeah, I think you said that very well. Yes. And it can be when joining a coalition, can you be any age? Can you have any background to be in
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. Any member of the community is super, super valuable to the coalition. We do have different sectors that we like to look for when we're trying to recruit people from the community to join the coalition. So we try to have a very diverse range of people, including law enforcement, educators, youth, parents, religious organizations, everything. So it's really anyone who wants to join and anyone who wants to make a difference can be a part of it.
Yeah. And I think some of the best coalitions or like most um not involved, but just like
Mhm.
they're the ones who are created from so many different backgrounds in the community.
Mhm.
And so whether you have a young person on it and an older person, then you have two completely different
Mhm.
views, or a doctor
Absolutely.
and a teacher. You
Mhm.
still are there for the exact same cause, but you
Right.
have backgrounds that are helping you
Mhm.
in different ways.
Yeah, everyone has a unique perspective, I feel like. So having a really diverse range of people allows you to have a lot of really good ideas and perspectives and to see how you can kind of get things done. I feel like everyone can bring something to the table.
Yeah, of course. So with our coalitions, you are in service area 14.
14. Yes.
I always mess it up, but I didn't mess it up this time. Um,
Yes.
so do you just kind of want to go through some of your coalitions and what their goals are? Yeah, why don't we
Yeah.
kind of start with that?
Yeah, so I work in service area 14. So I'm kind of in so I live in the service area I work in, which is really, really nice. So I serve Kirksville and all of the like most northeastern counties in Missouri. The first coalition that I kind of have to talk about would be the NEMO Drug Free Communities Task Force Coalition. And the reason I want to mention them first is they have the DFC grant, which is a really significant amount of funding over the span of 10 years. And they have been doing a lot of good work surrounding alcohol in the community, youth alcohol use, specifically around the Nemo Fair. There's a lot of underage drinking that goes on there. So they've been doing a lot of really good work in that sense. The member or April Dubinsky, who's the leader of the coalition, actually just graduated the National Coalition Academy along with both of us too, which is super exciting.
Yes.
Um, so they have gone through a lot of really, really good training on coalition work and how to make a difference in the community. It's a pretty extensive program. So they've been doing a lot of really good work. I've got two other coalitions based in Kirksville, and that would be the Heartland Task Force and Breathe Easy Kirksville. They have been doing a lot of really good work surrounding substance use. They target elementary ages because the earlier you can kind of get some of these messages to the children, the better off they can be sometimes later on in life. So they're
Yeah.
doing a lot of after school programs with the Too Good for Drugs curriculum, which is super exciting. And then aside from those ones, I have a few other coalitions just kind of throughout all of the other 8 counties that I serve. Marion County in Hannibal, they've got a coalition based out of the health department that they've been doing a lot of work surrounding worksite wellness, worksite prevention. So they are starting to do or they want to start doing what's called the Worksite Olympics again and spread prevention messages about maybe smoking cessation while we're doing it. So they want to bring all different businesses in their community together to do like a fun little friendly competition, basically. So they're doing a lot of really, really good work there. And we also, this isn't in my service area, but in service area 13, which Taylor is in charge of, we had a coalition also receive a drug-free communities grant, and they are going to start doing some really, really good work with that. So those are some of the highlights of the coalitions that I've been working with. A lot of them, I have a few others, they're all doing really, really great things right now. But since it's December, there's a little bit of a break kind of right now. Everyone's trying to catch their breath before they start their big programming in spring.
Yeah. Yeah. So you cover many different coalitions with many different missions and visions, which
Yes,
is really
absolutely.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, every single one of them, they all have a common goal of preventing substance use, but they all are kind of going about it in different ways and kind of taking different approaches, which I think is really unique. And I think that what everyone's doing is working for their communities, which is awesome.
Yeah. And the fact that you get the service area that you live in, does that
Yes.
just help you even more to like care about these coalitions and really go to the events and support them? Like I'm sure that that helps a lot, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not originally from here. I've lived here about 5 years, but I do feel very tied to this community. And so being able to make a difference in the community that I live in is just something that's really special for me. It kind of motivates me to come to work every day. Aside from the fact that this is a really great job and I love everyone I work with. I really love what I do, and I love that I can make a difference in the community that has been a home to me for the last 5 years. So
Yeah, that is really amazing. So
yeah.
with your coalitions, I know there's a lot of activities that go on, but with activities, there's also a lot of meetings. So
Right, yeah.
as prevention specialists, what is kind of the expectation for meetings, like for someone that might not know? Do you attend all the coalition meetings?
Yeah,
And kind
so
of what goes on there?
yeah, the state requires each coalition to meet at least once per quarter, and we are required to go once per quarter to their meetings. I try to go, most of my coalitions meet every month, so if I can, I try to go every month and go support my coalitions, and I try to attend to some of the events that they're doing if I'm able to as well, and hand out some messaging there, interact with the community, make good connections. I've gotten to attend a lot of really, really great events. For example, April with the NEMO DFC Task Force just put on a youth leadership symposium at Truman State University for some middle and high school students in the community, and I got to attend that. And it was honestly, it was really, really cool to be able to interact with these youth and be able to talk to them and have these conversations with them. So I've gotten a lot of really great opportunities just being able to work with my coalitions and go to the events that they're doing and see all the great things that they're doing.
Yeah, that is very wonderful. Do you think coalition to coalition, does involvement differ a lot, or is there kind of similar involvement in a lot of the coalitions that you help out with?
Yeah, so some of my coalitions have a lot of involvement. They've got a lot of people who attend their meetings, a lot of people who are willing to help out. I have a lot of coalitions who also have a lot of people who are willing to help out that don't attend the meetings regularly.
Yeah.
So some of my meetings will have like 3 or 4 people in them, and that includes like the 3 people who are running the coalition. But sometimes, especially I think right now it's kind of hard because everyone's celebrating holidays and nobody wants to go to meetings. But I think especially during our seasons where we're really busy, there's a lot more involvement and a lot of interaction. It really depends on the month, and it depends on kind of what's going on in the coalition. So I have one group, it's actually a youth coalition mostly. It's a SAD group, so that stands for Students Against Destructive Decisions, and they've got like 15 to 20 kids coming to their meeting every month now. So they're
Yeah.
starting to get really involved, and I'm really excited to see how that goes. So
Yes, it's very inspirational to see the youth getting involved in their community
mhm,
and wanting to make a
absolutely.
difference, because they're the ones that are going to be there for years. They're the future of
Yes.
that community.
Yes.
And so
They
seeing
are our future leaders.
it's just amazing.
It really is. And they have so much to contribute to. Like they have so many good ideas, and they're the ones who are experiencing all the things that we're trying to help prevent. So they are a really good source of knowledge too for kind of what's going on in the community and how we can help them. So that's been really nice to be able to have youth come up and say like, no, this is what we're seeing in our schools every single day or seeing outside of school. So that's been really nice to be able to know kind of what we need to do to help them.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And their opinions matter, not more than anyone else, but their opinions
They
matter a
really,
significant amount because of that
yes,
reason. So,
absolutely, they do.
yeah. Well, awesome. Do you want to bring up any other coalitions, or do you feel like we covered the bulk of kind of what you wanted to talk about?
Um, I feel like we've covered most of it. I'm so proud of my coalitions and everything that they're doing. I know I didn't mention all of them. I think I have 8 coalitions right now, 8 or 9. So obviously I can't highlight them all, but I think they're all doing really, really great work, and they all have been making a huge difference in their community. And I have really enjoyed getting to see that impact, especially over the last year. I've worked here about a year now. So over the last year, I've seen a lot of really powerful work done in the communities and a lot of really powerful messages being spread.
Yeah. And that goes for honestly all of our coalitions. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with my throat today. But
You're all
all the coalitions that we serve in the 27 counties, they are just all superstars. And whether they're small or large or older or younger individuals, they just really have a heart for caring for the community, and that is just amazing to see. And so if you're in our 27 county service area and you're wanting to get involved in a coalition, or if there's not a coalition in your area and you want one started potentially, feel free to reach out to us at moprevention@pfh.org. And if you're in Aubree's county specifically, you can email her. Her email is aubree.crockett@pfh.org. And she is always super amazing with helping people out. So I'm sure she'll answer all of your questions. But Aubree, do you want to leave our listeners with just one statement? It could be like a very empowering statement of take action. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to kind of highlight something that you said earlier. Everyone that I've interacted with has such a big heart for their communities. And honestly, that is the most powerful force in coalitions, I think, is having a heart for their community and making a change. So even if you don't know anything about coalition work, anything about substance prevention, anything about youth, you can always learn that. And honestly, the most important part, I think, is having a heart for it. And you can learn all the other stuff, but if you have that heart, then you can make a lot of powerful change.
Yeah, that was very well said. And we're going to leave it on that note. So listeners, thank you so much for tuning in today. And we hope that you can listen to some other podcasts if you're interested in them. And Aubree, thank you so much for all of your knowledge on coalitions and willing to share your experiences and who you work with. We appreciate it a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I really, really enjoyed.
Anytime. You're welcome. Anytime. We hope that all of you listeners have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you next time. Bye, everyone.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into our podcast. Remember to follow us on social media at PFH Prevention. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Spotify, and more podcasting platforms. And make sure to email us at moprevention@pfh.org with any questions, and feel free to call us at 660-627-7404. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.